Senator Kamala Harris had a CNN town hall meeting last night, and one of the main questions that is hurting her a lot with Black Americans is the subject of reparations. Now, that particular subject came up yesterday, and we know in the past Kamala Harris has fumbled with that question. She's also fumbled with being asked about a Black agenda. But I want you to hear what she's going to say this time in regards to reparations and a Black agenda.
Support financial reparations?
I support that we study that. We should study it and see. But look, let's look at this, for example. One of the issues that is very clear is that trauma, years of trauma or even one experience with trauma, can lead to lifelong consequences. I'm supporting some work and was part of some work that started years ago looking at children who are growing up in a community where there is violence. And if you look at the associated then physical health effects that are associated with exposure to trauma, and what that can mean in terms of physical disability, not to mention what it means in terms of a child's ability to learn and be educated. There are real factors that can be associated with trauma. And when you are talking about the years and years and years of trauma that were experienced because of slavery, because of Jim Crow, and because of all that we have seen in terms of institutional and legal discrimination and racism, this is very real, and it needs to be studied. And we need to look at exactly how the response should be played out and how it should be worked.
I don't need to tell you that a big voting bloc in the Democratic Party, Black Americans.
Yes.
What's your agenda for Black America?
Well, it's a number of things. First of all, we need to deal with the economic status of African Americans in this country. When you look at it in terms of everything from home ownership to wages, we can see huge disparities. And so that needs to be addressed. Let's look at an issue like maternal mortality. I am actually presenting what I believe should be the response to that. I have studied this issue. Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die in connection with childbirth. And when you study the issue, it becomes very clear that it is regardless of the socioeconomic status of those women. It is regardless of their educational level. It is, as it turns out, without much more investigation, a matter of racial bias in the healthcare delivery system. Those women are not taken as seriously when they show up at the clinic or the doctor's office or the hospital. I am looking at it in terms of being a proud member and graduate of an HBCU, Howard University, and what we need to do to support our HBCUs. I was proud that I had a piece of legislation that actually has been passed to invest federal resources in supporting our HBCUs, recognizing that HBCUs really produce, in some professions, the majority of African Americans who enter those professions. So there are a number of issues, and including, of course, what we need to do to reform the criminal justice system.
Okay, Kamala. So you're cool with studying it, and we'll see based on a study, but you just didn't come out and just say, no, I'm not for no financial payments. At least I respect Bernie Sanders enough for him to come out and say, no, I don't agree with that, right? You should have just said no. And Don Lemon tried to give you a bone. Don Lemon was trying to remind you, say, wait a minute, this is a big voter block. You understand what you're about to say? And you still did not get it at this point? See, Kamala is so out of touch. And see, this is what happens when you kind of separate yourself from the Black community. Because when you separate yourself from the Black community, you're not in touch with what's going on at all. You don't engage them. You only talk to Black people when you need something from them. That's not really engaging the Black community. And we are way past this attitude and notion that it's okay just to be Black or whatever shade that you are, you claim yourself to be Black, and you're going to skate on by. These do-nothing politicians that's just occupying a space but not doing anything for the Black community is wrong. Now, I want to give a shout out to, Taz Exclusives for putting out some information that I saw in one of his videos he invited me to watch. And he was showing about the Congressional Black Caucus was split on Obama and Clinton. When Obama was running, if you have a Congressional Black Caucus, you're supposed to have all of them vote for Barack Obama. It shouldn't be a question if you have a so-called Black caucus, right? So that's where our so-called Congressional Black Caucus at. This is a so-called black senator, and I say so-called, and this is what she's going to say about reparations at this time period. We have to stick to our guns. This is a perfect time to stick to our guns about reparations. We have to have the attitude, no reparations, no vote. It's just that simple. I don't care what's going on, no reparations, no vote. We have to have that particular attitude, because if we do not keep that particular attitude and are prepared to stay home, if we do not get a candidate that's going to push for reparations, because I'm ready to go either way. I'm ready to go out and vote because a person is going to get reparations and push that, and I'm prepared to stay home. That's really where I'm at with it, and that's where the majority of Black America is at with it. Black America is angry with the Democratic Party. We have been neglected. We have been, disrespected. Candidates that's been running who are black aren't being supported by the Democratic Party, not putting money behind them. But now they want to focus everything on people coming from Central America that has nothing to do with American citizens. It doesn't. I think that is one of the worst gambles that you're taking, because even voting wise, right? Let's say if you can even get them citizenship, studying the demographics when voting, their community votes are split. They don't vote in a block. We are the only group that vote in a block. You can guarantee us to do so. And you need Black Americans to win. If you don't have Black Americans, you're done. And you don't care about that. You care, but you don't care. So we have to put your feet to the fire, Kamala Harris and the rest of them. No reparations, no vote. It's just that simple. You can say, well, it's more to things than just reparations, it's this and that. No. Because when every group come to a politician, they come on one issue. When the gay community wanted gay marriage, that's what they wanted. That's what they got, because they were pushing that. You have the other groups, you have the Jewish community, they push what they want. Asians push what they want. Everybody push what they want, but Black people got to be, you can't just be right now. Black people always told, hold off, well, let's just do this trickle down economics, or, a rising tide, raise all boats. And then at the end of the day, Black folks are still looking around with nothing in their pockets, looking around like lost, while everybody else is doing very well. While immigrants are coming from Korea and China and all these other places they coming from, India and different Arab nations, they coming into the Black communities, getting business loans that you can't even get it as a American citizen being Black. Don't want to give you no capital to start a business in your community. They can come into your community, start businesses, look at you crazy, follow you all over the store, hurry up and buy, and everything else that they can do to you in your community, because our government will facilitate them to have businesses in Black communities, but you can't get one, even though you're a citizen, you've been paying taxes here, you fought and died in wars, you built this country. You can't even do that. So no, you can't even come up with any of that when we are literally being extremely disrespected daily. And because you have shown other immigrant groups that you could just come in, and I'm not talking about the Black immigrants, because we don't see Black immigrants coming to the Black community starting businesses. It's always, there's always those three groups I'm talking about. You don't see African immigrants coming into the Black community starting businesses, or Haitian immigrants, Jamaican, or wherever else. You notice they only pick certain ones they allow to come and take from the Black community. What I mean by take is they get the money, they suck it out, and they bring it to other places. They don't circle that money back into the Black community. Let's call that what it is. Now, I understand they're playing the game for what it is, so it's all, connected on misusing Black people. So yes, we need reparations, for the simple fact is we need to close that wealth gap. 2, reparations, if we have it, can protect us from gentrification. 3, we can start our own businesses in our community, schools, etc. We can do that. Now, will some people trick it off? Yeah, some people would trick it off, and that's their business. I don't care. I'm talking about those who would do the right thing with it, and there's many of us that would do the right thing with it, for sure. But Kamala Harris, I said, we're not in a position right now. And I'm going to keep repeating this constantly. We know we're going to be a zero net worth in this country. And when that happens, you already know it's going to go down at that point. So we have to fight, and we have to keep fighting. It cannot be just this one election. It has to be local elections. It has to be Congress, Senate. It has to be every aspect. You cannot lay off of it. Not everything. And that's another thing I'm going to tell black people. Sometimes you think when you're fighting for something that it's like this. Some things take a marathon. Some things are a sprint. And understand, when you get there, you're there. But don't think it's just one election or one thing. No. You can, because the thing is, what I see about us a lot of times, we'll fight for something and we get it, or let's say we don't get it and we just completely give up. Like, no, you get back in the fight and you keep going till you get what you want. I mean, you know how many times people fail things, but you get up and try again? But you keep trying, you keep putting yourself out there. That's called fighting and not giving up. Because, I mean, if you don't want to give up, what we work for in this country, give up, our culture, our identity that we have created here out of nothing, because everything we had from Africa was stripped away from us. So, yes, we must stand up and fight as much as possible. And when it comes to politics, I'm going to keep saying this. It's about the business. It's about the black agenda. I don't care who's going to present it. I don't care if you're white, black, Asian, Arab. I don't care what you are. Because, like I'm keep repeating, Barack Obama showed us that he did not do anything for us. I had another person come and say, well, we didn't give Barack Obama no money. That's why he didn't do anything. We gave Barack Obama way more than money. Black people did donate to Barack Obama. That's number one. Number two, black people gave him 90% of their votes. Let me tell you something. The reason why Trump do what he do is because he understands his base, and he's not trying to piss off his base that's going to come out and vote for him. See, Barack Obama should have thought like that. Wait a minute. The black community came out for me 90%. Let's say we didn't give him nothing, no agenda, no nothing. It was his responsibility to say, hey, this is my base. So let me go to my base right here and say, hey, let me have a little town hall or something. And hey, what's the concerns in this area? Let me find out what's going on, or sit with different people. You as president, you can do that. Call people to the White House. Get the agenda if you don't have one. You can get it. It's plenty out there. You don't have to have somebody bring something to you. You can find out it on your own. It's what you wanted to do. Ain't no way I'm going to have someone support me at 90% of anything, and I don't cater to them. That's just good business just on a good day, especially as a politician. I'm not about to cater to somebody that only voted for me at 5% or 2%. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense. I mean, I would reach out to them, but I'm not going to just neglect people that voted 90%. I think 92% the first time. 92% of the black vote is what he got. Democratic candidates don't never get that high. So don't be looking down on the black community when it comes to Barack Obama. And they came out the second time and voted for him. And he still didn't do nothing for the black community. So no, just because you got a so-called black face do not mean that something's going to happen for you. So that's why I say I'm done with all that. Because some people, I think they're so childish and elementary at the same time. We let this racist system get in our minds to think everything is a color of the skin. I mean, that's very savage and primitive if you think about it. So you're only good or bad based on the hue of your skin. That's stupid. But what I'm saying is, out of all that, this is why I have been saying, okay, let's get a candidate to the debate stage that's pushing that, and let's see what's going to happen. That's why I'm saying that. No other reason. I'm caring about reparations. And yes, there's other things I do care about, but reparations is very, very important to me because I have children that's going to be in this world after I'm gone. Okay. I want to make sure those children are doing good. You should care about your children as well. Do you want your children to deal with the same problems as today? No, I don't think you want your children to deal with the same problems. And if we're not going to get our act together, just let us know collectively we don't want to get our act together, then we'll just all get individualistic and just be all right on our own. But I don't think that would be the right way to be or the right course, because being individualistic is not our culture. It's not who we are. We are people that do better in unification. There's others that can be individualistic, and that don't even work for them as well, even though they're tribalistic at times too. But what I'm saying is Kamala Harris and people that talk like her No, 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 no. And that lady, in my opinion, she should have been done. Last time she was interviewed, she said specifically she's not going to do nothing. It's just for black people. But she would never say that about no other group, only us. It's just straight disrespect. So no, we cannot give her our vote like that. And I'm going to keep reminding you anytime she says something, or Bernie Sanders or whoever say anything, because I have to, because our memory, unfortunately, is very short due to the news cycle and everything else. At times, things move so fast. And unfortunately, in the black community, if something's out 2 weeks, you consider it old. I don't know why we do that, but that's kind of something that we should not be doing. But leave me a comment, let me know think about the situation with Kamala Harris. Like I said, I believe that personally she need to buy out. She just needs to say, you know what, I can't do it. I'm not getting the votes or whatever, because she just keeps shooting herself in the foot. Like, what kind of campaign manager you have that's not going to tell you what people are saying in the street, especially if you want the black vote?